Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by the man who earlier on today announced that he will be retiring from tennis later on this year, Andy Murray.
Yeah, good. You've ruined the video already with that base level plankton patter.
I thought I'd get in before the comment section.
Good.
Anyway, this is the news.
Stop doing that as well, you annoying streak of fanny. So, story number one, and it's a big one, mate. Have you heard this one?
I have.
Have you heard this one? AJ Styles
Confirmed.
is definitely going to AEW.
Hang on. How do you know he's definitely going to AEW?
Because Shagger Dave Meltzer said so on the internet. That means it's definitely happening. No, of course, Dave Meltzer did not say that he is definitely going to AEW. He has said on Wrestling Observer Radio that AEW may be very interested in extending a contract offer his way because AJ Styles' WWE contract comes up later this year, and that AJ might just be a little bit tempted by AEW's reduced road schedule. And at the moment, AEW's reduced road schedule is literally 2 shows. So it's an interesting one. What do you think of this on face value?
I think it could be very interesting to see if this, well, now this rumor is certainly being circulated, what WWE do with him at WrestleMania. Because one would assume he's obviously not going to be in the WWE Championship title picture, unless something ridiculous happens at the Royal Rumble. And aside from that, in previous years, they've kind of just sort of chucked a match together. Obviously, he had that great match with Chris Jericho in his first year, but then they also went, do you want to face Shane?
Best in the world. Future SmackDown Tag Team Champion.
It does kind of put a bit of pressure on WWE to say, look, here's what we've got planned for you now going forward, because it's all well and good booking whilst he's WWE Champion and obviously having this great feud with Daniel Bryan following that, but what happens next?
I would put it this way, I would be absolutely amazed if he went to AEW, but loads of money.
Exactly. Speaking of Dave Meltzer, he has also confirmed that it looks like the main event of WrestleMania this year is going to be a triple threat match between Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship. However, it could all change. And I realise we say that all the time, but this is legitimate. Apparently Vince McMahon is only going to make his mind up completely. I'm not sure whether that means whether or not it's going to be main event. I assume so, or whether or not that's going to be the match. 3 days before WrestleMania. Because
3 count. Remember 3 count.
3 count.
Yep,
but just the fact that WWE, at the biggest show of the year, could change everything
a couple of days before. It's mad, isn't it? But that's how Vince McMahon operates. It's always a convenient excuse. All plans have changed when things don't really transpire. But per the big man, Shagger himself, the working plan is that triple threat. The big men's match is expected to be Seth versus Brock, of course. It'll be interesting to see how they potentially get to this triple threat,
I'm
wouldn't it?
so confused about how they're going to do this. I was fine with it up until, and I'm glad she did, up until Becky won that #1 contenders match. But now they sort of have to book her to lose against Asuka at the Royal Rumble whilst looking strong, which they could probably just do some sort of screwy finish.
Screwy finish, Ronda interferes.
Isn't great for Asuka's title reign, isn't great for the match. And then, I don't know how you do it. There's been speculation about, do you do sort of Charlotte and Becky spilling out the Rumble at the same time at the end? That's a bit of a deflating end.
Screw that.
If Charlotte wins, it's probably easier to sort of insert Becky in that match down the line, but then she also has to switch brands for no apparent reason. But then if Becky wins, how on earth do you chuck Charlotte into that without it feeling like we're the bosses and we're just putting Charlotte into this match?
It's going to be really complicated, but I guess the beauty of this is finding out how they do it. Speaking of how they do it, how on earth are AEW going to get themselves a TV deal? Adam, you're not Adam Nicholas. Adam Nicholas is over there. This is Adam Wilbourn, good one, Andy Murray. How are they going to get a TV deal? Well, this is the big question surrounding them at the moment. The promotion AEW will probably live or die based on how they do in these negotiations. There was talk that President Tony Khan, Big Money Tony, was in negotiations with several networks, and he has now commented on this on, I believe it is X-Pac 12360, which is kind of a funny name, podcast. He said, well, he can't obviously give out details. He confirmed that multiple parties are very interested. He thinks he wants a weekly show and that it will be very, very big for the wrestling business. Now, there has been talk of TNT/TBS, a major network in the USA. Obviously, they haven't broadcast wrestling in a long, long time. but there's a long way to go. What do you think, Adam Wilbourn, their chances are?
I reckon they've got a really good chance. I think the fact that they've come out of the gate and they've announced all these huge names alongside the obvious ones of Cody, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page and what have you. I think obviously they talked about the fact that Chris Jericho is such a huge name to have on board, even though he's not specifically exclusive to AEW. But I can't imagine any many TV networks turning their nose up at the fact of, he looks like Kenny Omega's going to be going there.
Yeah.
It's easy money, and when you consider, TNA has always been looked down upon. I'm not having to go at TNA or Impact nowadays. I think they're
GFW,
they're creating a lot better product in 2018, 2019. But they haven't necessarily struggled that much to find a TV deal.
Well, they've secured a TV deal, but it's a network that Anthem, the parent company behind Impact, owns, so it's kind of like a cheat, really.
But with the Khan's money behind it, you've got to feel that any TV company will know there'll be significant investment in TV.
You'd think so, and obviously the Khan family have significant media connections and they will use that to the full of their ability. They probably need another couple of stars for, right? They need a Kenny Omega, they need an AJ Styles who's definitely joining, they need a Goldberg, they need me and him.
They need some big names. I've completely forgotten our fourth news story for today.
Oh, that's very good. WWE Worlds Collide, new tournament.
Worlds Collide new tournament has been announced. It's going to be taking place at Royal Rumble weekend. It's going to feature stars from NXT, NXT UK, and 205 Live, all competing against each other. The winner gets a title opportunity of their choosing. Andy Murray, can you give us some of the names that are going to be competing?
I will indeed
at Worlds Collide.
Give you some of the names who will be competing, and there's a lot of them. There's 15 in total. They'll have a Battle Royal. The Battle Royal's elimination order will determine the draw, I guess, for the single elimination tournament, and the winner of the Battle Royal gets a first round bye.
Is it a reverse Battle Royal?
There's a lot to take in. Absolutely not.
Rubbish.
Vince Russo will not be there. Anyway, from NXT, we have guys like Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, as well as some newcomers like Dominik Dijakovic, and Office favourite Otis Dozovic. NXT UK, Tyler Bate is probably the only real big star, but they've got up-and-comers like Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks, and from 205 Live, Cedric Alexander, former champion, TJP, former champion. Interestingly, of the 5 205 Live competitors, one is still to be announced. That was originally going to be Humberto Carrillo, who's currently in NXT, but he was pulled out rather weirdly a couple of hours later. So I don't know, maybe they'll get like another high-flying cruiserweight in there, maybe Gangrel.
They are just cramming the stars in for Royal Rumble weekend. I'm really excited to see what comes of that.
And this thing's going to air on the network after the fact, whether or not it will be condensed or we'll get full matches. It's a pretty awesome lineup. There's some big stars, there's some great wrestlers in there. Maybe we'll get some banging matches.
Absolutely. Let's move on to some of your wrestling questions. Then don't forget you can tweet at us at WhatCulture WWE. Let's start with Jay Biddles. Who says, do you think Bray Wyatt is off TV because they're going to form the Wyatt family again?
Sadly, yes, I do. They just don't seem to have any ideas for Bray, do they? So they'll go back to what they know. The Bludgeon Brothers, they were effective in that they had a few okay sprints as tag team champions. They won the belts, they went undefeated, but the act was kind of dead. They weren't getting crowd reactions. They don't know what to do with Harper. Rowan just kind of sucks without the Wyatt family.
Just hit the reset button.
And it'll stink. We'll be sick of it in 2 weeks.
I always hold out hope because I think it's such if you need to reintroduce a character, especially someone like Bray Wyatt, the way he can do it, the way he's done it throughout his career is very exciting. It's just what they do, like you say, the 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe as a trio again, they could really get back on the horse.
Put them on SmackDown, a very well-written show, and they may stand a chance.
With a great tag team division as well.
Absolutely.
I want to see more of Luke Harper. I'm a big fan of his.
He's great.
Ian the Scumlord on Twitter.
Class.
I'm going to ask this about you because this is about an article at whatculture.com. Many great articles on there right now.
Written by the legends.
He says, how hard are you all regretting that Bullet Club is Dead article right about now?
There's literally no article on our website that is entitled Bullet Club is Dead. You're going to have to go and find that one for us, mate.
There was a video, there was a why.
Exist? Simon Miller put together a very well-presented why, as they all are.
Why Bullet Club is no more.
Yeah. What are you on about, mate?
You did what was every predicting the future of every Bullet Club member?
Tamatonga sucks.
Whoa. PRJ Man on Twitter. Final question for today. I really like this one because I want this to happen. PRJ Man says, you heard the rumour that Daniel Cormier is going to be at the Rumble. How would it play out for wrestling fans?
Boys, I'm very sorry to do this, but I've been dispatched by the powers that be here at WhatCulture Wrestling to interrupt your news video with breaking news.
Breaking news here at WhatCulture.
The first shots of the UK Performance Centre have been released by WWE and appear to show a as yet unannounced new signing for the brand.
Can we guess who it is?
Would you like to guess who it is?
Gangrel.
It's not Gangrel. It's none other than former Defiant Wrestling General Manager Primate. And by the looks of the images, could be debuting at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool in the no disqualification match between Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff.
Yeah.
That's the noise he makes, isn't
That
it?
sounds good to me.
I like
Huge fan
to
of
see the bones
Primate.
up.
Yep.
That's very exciting.
Very scary man.
Very scary.
Better
man.
not be wrong, Adam Cleary.
Final question then from PRJ Man, who says, have you heard the rumour that Daniel Cormier is going to be at the Rumble? How would it play out for wrestling fans if the UFC and WWE actually pulled a cross-promotion angle on this?
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing, would it not? Daniel Cormier, huge wrestling fan, he'd probably be up for it.
He wouldn't, I don't think you have to pay him.
No, he'd probably
think-
just turn up.
He's probably bought a ticket just to be there because he's a fan. I think, look, there's always been talk about DC versus Brock. I think if you want a way to get the title off Brock, perhaps, aside from Braun cutting terrible promos on Raw, you know, this would be a great way to do it. I feel like you wouldn't need a lot. I think their worry is people might go, who's this Daniel Cormier guy?
Yeah.
I think if you say this guy
Who's this dad bod fella?
is
like
is a former UFC champ,
one of the baddest men on the planet.
the baddest man on the planet, the current UFC heavyweight champion. It doesn't take a lot, and
incredible. It'd be easy to book, and they should definitely do it.
I think they should definitely do it. Right, let's move on then to our and finally for today.
Man, it's a long video.
It is indeed. We have a WWE cookbook that is coming out.
Cookbook?
Not like that.
That's what the comment section calls
coming out later on this year, and I've found out some of the recipes. You may have heard about some of these before.
Office banter, yes.
Bakishta is definitely a thing in the WWE cookbook.
Bakishta?
The Big Show's world's largest
Ham.
pancake.
Why would it be
John Cena's Fruity Pebble treats. Think of that what you will. Macho Man nachos. That's another one.
Surely they should just be called nachos, man.
Exactly. They've really
this
missed a
is
trick
garbage.
there. Degeneration eggs.
Okay, fine.
And my personal favourite, NW oatmeal. That is WWE's cookbook, and that is today's news. Let us know your thoughts on that, on Primate potentially signing for NXT UK, on all the news stories today in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My thanks to
don't make a tennis joke, you
former
prick.
Wimbledon, two-time Wimbledon champion, Andy Murray. Best of luck in your future endeavours. Thanks to you for watching, and we will see you soon.